Ramey Bell. We're going. We're doing this.
Steve Taylor.
How you doing, man?
Welcome. I'm doing good. Why am I welcoming you?
I have no idea. Why are you welcoming? It's my podcast. Get out of here, man.
Sorry.
Oh, man. No, it's okay. So what's new, man? How you been?
I've been doing very well. I, like everyone else, I'm stuck at home, but it's not too much of a change for me because I work at home already.
Yeah, there you go.
But
I too work from home already, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I keep logging into my bank to see if the CARES Act money just magically showed up. I want my $10,000 grant.
Yeah. Yeah.
They said I'd have it in 3 days. It's been a week.
Yeah, I don't understand the time schedule because you hear it from so many different sources.
Mm-hmm.
So I quit listening.
I mean, I'm not hurting for it, but if I can get a $10,000 grant, if they were stupid enough to give out a $10,000 grant to everyone, I'm gonna, I'm sure I'll find ways to use it for the business. I'm thinking about building an office in my backyard.
There you go.
Like one of those little tiny house project kind of things where
mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about doing that. That way I can still work from home, but not have, because who knows how long this is really going to last, you know?
Right.
Like, I suspect that the kids won't go back to school this school year. So that means I will be nonstop with the kids until like September when school starts back up. I'm going to need a separate space. So I think building an office in the backyard is actually a very reasonable thing to do.
I think that's smart.
I think it's a sensible decision to spend the CARES Act money on. I don't even know what I'm allowed to spend it on yet. I have to read all the. I'm just saying ridiculous things to get a rise out of people, to be completely honest. You can't do that, Steve.
Well, it's not much different than remodeling your existing.
I know.
It's the same thing. I'm really fortunate in that I still have part-time residential MSP offering with a couple hundred endpoints, 250 endpoints, and so it's helping people at home with their computers, and I'm not getting calls with cancellations or
nice.
It's just status quo, and it's paying the bills, and nothing's really changed there. So I'm very fortunate that I have that.
And see, I sometimes forget that you have the MSP because I've always known you as Ramey Bell from Tech Reputation. And that's a really neat company that you have. You've got like a SaaS app that a subscription model SaaS app where not just MSPs, but any company can use it to manage like online reviews and submission to all those fun, not search, well, the search engines too, but like all those directories and stuff like
directories,
that.
Yeah.
So I can't think of the name of that one tool that I compared you to, Yext. I feel like you're kind of like Yext, but different and possibly better, probably better.
Actually, to be honest, we used to use the Yext tool. We were partners with them, so we would connect to them via an API.
Yeah.
But I've since changed to another provider that does exactly the same thing, just with a better interface.
Nice. Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a lot of companies that offer this stuff already. So I'm gonna just come out and ask the silly question: if we can get it from Yext or whoever this other partner of yours is,
Mm-hmm.
Why do we need you? You're just a middleman at that point, right?
I'm just a middleman, but when you combine the data with the service that we're offering, what I'm really offering is local search optimization, because the two go so hand in hand. And when you put the two together, that's 25% of the ranking factors. And Yext does offer direct, a direct offering, but you pay a little bit more. So I never hide the services that I'm partnered with. And Tech Reputation is now part of Matthew Rodella's, conglomeration of companies. I'm just kidding. I partner with Matthew in offering my service with his about a year ago. It'll be a year this month.
I remember that.
So Tech Reputation's changed a little bit in that it's part of a suite of programs.
So I can't even go to techreputation.com and sign up?
No, you can.
Okay.
You can. Yeah. But
is that still like, is all of it still conglomerate with Matt, or is techreputation.com a little like separate and that's still like yours, so to speak?
We're partners in the new company, and the easiest way to explain it is like FreshBooks and Freshdesk, and they're all different products of the same company.
Got it.
Like Freshworks is like the parent company, and they have all these products.
Okay.
So you can go to Tech Reputation and sign up, but the billing is going to come from Tech Marketing Engine. And if you go to techmarketingengine.com, you'll see that when we package them together, you save money by purchasing all of the products at the same time.
Let's check that out.
Let's check that out.
Let's check that out. Oh my goodness. Am I sharing the right screen?
That is correct.
All right. It wasn't showing me, so I'm like, am I showing that, or am I showing the video of my son biffing thanks to our Ring cameras? And for those of you that want to see that, if you ask really nicely, maybe I'll hook you up. I feel so bad, but then when I realize he's okay, I just can't help but watch it over and over and laugh. Only because I know he's okay.
Only
because I know he's okay. All right, so Tech Marketing Engine. I like the site. I like the logo. Very, very sharp, very clean. I like that font too. I like to, for those of you that don't know how to do this, I like to right-click, inspect, and just kind of scroll down through this here.
Shows you what the font is.
Font family EXO. That's a neat font. Oh, so it's all of them. So you get Tech Site Builder, Tech Blog Builder, and Tech Reputation. It's a lot of tech all in one.
That's a lot of tech all in one. Yes, it is. But it's affordable, and that's one of the goals we had is attracting some of the smaller IT shops and MSPs.
Gotcha.
Because we have a small team. We don't have 50 people working on the team to charge people with.
Sure. So let's just talk about the big kahuna here, this Pro Plus website.
Mm-hmm.
So I see it's a fully managed website. Does that mean you guys are actually building it and managing it for us?
Correct.
So I say I want a new page, I want it to say this, and you guys will build it.
Absolutely.
Okay. 4 blog posts a month, so that works out to roughly a blog post every week. Oh, let's see here.
Something to mention about the blog posts is there are they're original. We're not writing blog posts and syndicating them to a whole bunch of shops.
That's right. Yeah, I remember Matthew saying that where you guys literally are writing a blog post for each customer.
Yes, and
that's why it costs so much. I mean, you're basically paying $100 a blog, $99 a blog post, if you're doing $396 a month for 4, right? And
right.
Yeah, that I would say is worth it when you think you're paying for a writer. And we can even say, hey, could you write a blog post about this topic? And you would probably throw that into like next month's rotation, right?
Absolutely. And not only do we write the blog post, but we post it socially on Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you want, and we create a video. The video points out the subject of the blog post and gets people to click on it and go to your website.
So there's a video for each blog post?
Correct. So that's part of the pricing.
Wow.
And that's why the cost is a little high for the blog post.
So can I see an example of one of these? Like if I hit learn more, does it show me an example of what like a video, a social post, and a blog post
try hitting learn more. I think it's further down. Nope.
So what about maybe a client I can look up on Facebook?
Try Magnify 24/7 without the slash. There you go.
Here?
Tipton, yeah.
Is this Sean McCormick's business?
Mm-hmm.
Sean's a good guy.
He's a very nice guy. He posts a lot of his own as well, yeah, so that's why you're having to scroll here. There's one right there you missed, right there.
This one here you guys did. Working remotely due to coronavirus. So this is like a minute 20. So full disclosure, this looks like one of those tools you could get on like AppSumo or something at one time with a lifetime deal, where you're just giving it the blog post and it's making a video and you just change some of the stock videos that are with it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's to improve engagement. And like I said before, get them to click through to your website.
Sure.
Stop them from scrolling.
Oh my gosh, leave me alone, people. How do I make this go away? Oh, just close it. Just go away. So the video isn't designed to be, hey guys, check out my sweet video. You're going to be so impressed by my video. The video is designed to catch their eye as they're scrolling through their feed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's awesome that you do that, honestly. And this stuff, I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, 800 to 1,000 words. I mean, we could go online and we could find somebody at one of those outsourced copywriting places, and we could ask somebody to write something. We could make an outline and say, here's kind of what I want you to talk about. Can you please make this happen? And they'll go out and do it. You can go to Deposit Photos and download a stock image, for a few bucks, or you can go to one of those free stock photo places. You can download something from one of those to put onto the blog post. Search engine optimized. You just tell the copywriter you want it to be SEO optimized with keywords and what keywords you want to focus on. Putting it on your website. If it's WordPress, that's super easy. Creating the graphic, something that you could outsource on Fiverr. Or you could use a tool like Canva to make that. Custom blurb. I mean, That's just the sentence or three or whatever that goes with the post on social media. And then the video, again, there's tools that make these videos, and you're utilizing these tools. So
absolutely.
It's not rocket science. But if you think about all the time that it would take for somebody to go out and do this on their own. So like, okay, so let's say I wanted to write an 800 to 1,000 word thing myself. Let's say that takes me 3 hours to write. No matter what your burden cost for yourself is, you're already over $99 a post.
Yeah, how much is your time worth?
Unless you pay yourself so little that why are you doing this? You know, you
just managing the different pieces too.
Yeah.
To put these together is, you know, but honestly, having the right writer, is the correct writer, is so much part of this, because our writer has extensive IT experience, and it's really hard to find them. Really hard. You can find good writers, but if they don't have IT experience, then
exactly
it doesn't pop as
it doesn't
well.
do you any good if they don't understand what they're writing about. Just like you don't want me writing about nail polish and cosmetology stuff. Like, I don't understand it.
I heard you did.
Don't tell people. What are you doing, man?
You want me to cut this out?
I got secrets. Why are you can't cut it out, Ramey. This is my podcast. Get out. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Oh, man.
So the Tech Blog Builder, I mean, $400 a month for 4 posts. I mean, you could spend less and get less posts, fewer posts.
Right.
I feel like I have to have perfect grammar with somebody that's a blog writer right now. You're making me nervous. So I mean, the pricing on that, I think, is reasonable if you think about all the time it would take you to do this yourself. Even if you went out and outsourced it yourself, you know, finding somebody on Fiverr to make graphics and videos, and finding somebody on one of those outsourced writing copywriting sites. I mean, that's a lot of stuff to manage. Even if you save $10-$20 on all the stuff by outsourcing it yourself, you're still working a lot harder, which, I mean, is dumb. You want to work smarter, not harder. So, okay, that's fair. Tech reputation.
That's our ideal customer, is someone that appreciates what you just said.
Yes. I still feel like I need to fight you on tech reputation, Ramey, and I think I did this to you last time.
Yeah.
Only because, like, I remember I signed up for Yext, and they say this is only $1,000 a year, and then I said, well, that's stupid. I'm not paying that much, and they said, okay, no problem. We'll give it to you for $350 a year, and I said that's more like it, and I paid them the $350, and we went on our happy way, you know. So I don't feel like review management is what I need. And maybe it's because I was able to go out and generate my review link. And in fact, Google My Business now has a little link for you. Mm-hmm. Like, here, share this link. That way you can easily share the review link so someone can leave a review. So the thing that I always thought I needed was the management of submissions to the search engines and directories online. And when I look at, you know, what you charge to include that piece of it, business listings management only comes with this version here. So at $99 a month, my $350, I feel like I got a better deal. So only because I didn't care about all this. Like, I'm not on Yelp. I don't care what people say about me on Yelp because I do managed services. I don't support people. I don't want to help grandma fix her computer. I don't care what grandma has to say about me. Right. I want to work with businesses. And let's be honest, businesses aren't typically going out of their way to leave reviews. If they do, it's with like the Better Business Bureau, or if you really screwed up, like the what is that? The Secretary of State for wherever you live, right? So like that's where they're going to leave reviews, not on Yelp and Google and Facebook. Like they just don't care about that. So that's why I'm like, this review thing is quite honestly kind of gimmicky in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Integration with Repair Shopper, I mean, that right there says to me this is kind of built for a computer repair shop, not an MSP. You know, if it had integration with like ConnectWise or Autotask, say a BMS, or even if this just said Synchro instead of Repair Shopper, then I could take it more seriously for an MSP. But the tech reputation piece, I feel like it's not doing a lot for an MSP at this price, because we don't care about any of this stuff here. We only care about this business listing part.
I can agree with that, because our ideal customer, again, for this product is going to be repair shops
Mm-hmm.
and hybrids, guys that do both.
Sure.
We do have some strictly MSP clients that do appreciate the way that they can, manage everything in a dashboard and have synchronization. We do. I need to update this list. We do integrate with Synchro.
Good.
It's identical with.
It's the same product.
Yeah.
So that's why I said if it said Synchro, I could take it more seriously.
Yeah. Synchro is set up the same exact way. And we can integrate anything that integrates with Zapier. So we get some, different programs, software, that some shops come to us with, like Freshdesk.
Sure. Okay.
So anything that integrates with Zapier, we can integrate with.
I want to throw this out there for you, just from a design perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like these two, the silver and gold columns,
mm-hmm.
they seem like they're lined up perfectly. The bronze column, things are not lining up.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And I would say that they should all kind of match. Or if it were me, I would just have one list and then the boxes with X's or checks next to the list under the headings. Because I mean, you don't need three columns that say the same word. You just need more of a grid with X's and checks.
Well, it's on our list to redesign the whole site, so I will take that under advisement.
I know a guy that builds great websites.
So do I. He's just always so busy. He's very good at what he does.
So let's take a look. What was that? What was that guy's website? Sean McCormick?
Magnify 247.com.
So this is built with TechSite Builder.
Mm-hmm.
What's like the most incredible TechSite Builder site you've seen?
Probably. Why don't you try Two River Computer? I think he's got that changed now.
Fairhaven?
Yeah. We redid his logo and branding.
I like the logo.
Yeah, it turned out really nice. He's trying to convey that he does home and small business. So he's an ideal customer for Tech Reputation as well.
Okay. So the websites, they're okay. They're better than what a lot of IT people can do on their own. They've got all the right content on them.
They are known to be very simple in design.
Sure.
And, honestly, it's a little dated. We are working on some new designs.
Nice.
And
so if somebody were to sign up with you today, and then in 6 months you had a new design, how would that work? Could they say, hey, so I really like this new design. Can you just kind of switch me over?
I'm sure. Why not?
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be template driven.
Sure, and that makes sense.
Whether there's a cost involved, I'd have to talk to Matt about that. But deciding how much work is involved, but it's not like we'd say no. We would
right.
Yeah.
So I will say that. Let's see here. Oh, so if you were to go to techsitebuilder.com directly, you can get it for $19 a month.
Mm-hmm.
From here, it's $120 a month.
That's if you do the fully managed.
So he doesn't even offer that on his website, does he?
No, he does. It's after a purchase. You can choose.
Gotcha.
You can you can choose.
Okay.
Concierge services.
So when I look at Tech Site Builder sites, $120 a month. Have you heard of Vertical Action?
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is me trying to, beat you up and be fair for the people that are watching this, Ramey. And it's not fair for you because you're not even necessarily the website guy. That's more Matthew's.
Mm-hmm.
But with Tech Site Builder, I feel like the sites are maybe not as nice as what Vertical Action are doing. And I mean, last I remember, Vertical Action was in the 100-ish range a month. It could have gone up by now.
So are they doing? They're not. There it is. $850 a month.
Yeah, that's not.
That was like done for you.
And who knows? Maybe they don't offer that. Like I saw it was in like the $150 range, and one of their sites. I thought, oh, here we go, $150. And for a little more, they'll include the directory listing service
mm-hmm.
and the video tech tips for $90 more. They give you syndicated content. So with this $150, they're giving you a blog, but it's the same blog all 9,000 other websites they're building make.
That's right.
But the website, I wish they had like a. I know one that has it though. This guy is a Vertical Action customer. $150 a month. Same thing. So I just feel like, this is,
it's more modern in design.
Much more modern in design. Now, that's not to say that the website is better with search engines, okay? Because the one thing that I'll say with companies like Vertical Action, in the past, they have been known to use, pre-written content. So like all the websites that they make basically have like the same kind of content. They just swap out the cities and the and the company names kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas with yours, it sounds like, I could be wrong, but it sounds like your sites, you guys are writing custom content for every page for every site, right?
If the customer wants that, we do that, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we
I mean,
don't syndicate.
Good. So it sounds like your sites are better when it comes to like the SEO and keywords, and other companies' websites are going to be better when it comes to the look and the feel. But it also sounds like you're working on cleaning up the look and the feel, so that way you can have, something that looks great for your customers, the MSPs. Is that fair?
Yeah, and the more fancier the site, it seems like the less it converts customers. Studies have shown.
Really?
When it really focuses on fanciness, this stuff that's popping up and all that kind of stuff, as you scroll down. Matt's sites are known to convert really well, and the SEO portion's done in such a way that it's repeatable, not by content, but by strategy.
I would be genuinely interested in seeing the study that you mentioned. Not right now, but if you think about it later, I'd love if you could send me a couple links or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll even be happy to put those in the description here on YouTube, so that way people can say you're actually backing up what you said with links. I'll put them in there for you. So you guys have a really neat service. I will say that the fact that you're making it super easy for everyone to just sign up and get all of their marketing, custom marketing, just done for them. I would say that's really great. It truly is, Ramey.
And we enjoy it because we're seeing success with our customers.
Good.
We get comments all the time that, hey, my engagement in my social media is up. All my numbers are up to my website. So that's the rewarding part of the offering the service.
That's wonderful. So let me ask you this. I think it's probably too early to tell, because on the MSP side, I think, April 1st was really like the first time that we've done invoicing after this whole stay-at-home thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think come May or June is when we're really going to start seeing the effects of MSP clients maybe not being able to pay or stay in business or whatever, because of all of this COVID-19 stuff that's happening. So it might be closer to like July or August, depending on how long all of this stuff lasts, right? It might be more like July or August to where you guys start feeling the effects. Does that sound about right to you?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Because you haven't really had too many of your clients come up to you and say, "Hey, we're struggling. We don't know what we can pay right now."
No, we've had a couple, leave us just because they couldn't afford us anymore.
Sure.
For blog writing, to be honest, but an overwhelming amount is not happening.
I think as we progress through the months, that it's you're going to start to feel it, which is scary, and thankfully, like you said, you've got the MSP, you've got clients, you're supporting them. I wonder how long it's going to be before you start to feel it on that end. I feel like that would be sooner than when the tech marketing engine feels it, because you're working directly with the clients, whereas tech marketing engine is supporting the MSP. You are the MSP on that part. You know what I mean?
Right. Are you referring to my residential MSP?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. It's such a small expense per month compared to other stuff like cable and cable TV and stuff like that. So I don't foresee losing a lot of customers, honestly.
How much are you charging per month, if you don't mind me asking?
For antivirus and preventative maintenance, that kind of thing, 25, and then I charge an additional 10 for backup, so 35 at the most.
And you're doing probably like SolarWinds RMM.
I'm switching to Synchro right now as we speak. Yeah,
makes sense. Were you on SolarWinds before?
Yeah.
I would be genuinely curious to hear what it's like when you switch from SolarWinds to Synchro after a few months. Just like which one you like better, which one seems easier to. Because I feel like with SolarWinds you can almost set it and forget it. In some regard, like there are definitely things that you need to be doing, but they just make it so easy to just, yes, deploy antivirus, yes, do this, yes, do that, and then like you just, okay, I'll just deploy this to a couple new computers and boom, 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 it's done. For residential anyway.
Yeah.
So I would be genuinely curious to hear how that goes with Synchro, because I suspect you're going to need to do a little more setup on the back end to get it easy, making the scripting and all that stuff.
Yeah, fortunately the residential market's a lot easier, and that's why I can afford time-wise to be able to do what I'm doing, because the residential is just very limited on time. Mm-hmm. It's about 10% of my time.
Well, that's good.
Because I've trained my customers to not click on things and don't go to these sites, and I've just trained them, and my call volume is just over time has gone down.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it also helps if you train them to turn it off and back on.
Exactly, before you call me.
Oh man. So what else is going on? Anything new, exciting? Home life okay?
Home life is fine. Do you offer therapy?
No, I'm just genuinely curious, man.
No.
We haven't talked in a few months.
Yeah, it's been a while. Well, you've had some business changes yourself.
Yeah. I got the RocketMSP thing. I'm, doing the peer groups. I'm doing these podcasts again. So, just
keeps you busy.
Oh yeah, and then I got all the stuff I do at the church, and Easter is in 3 days, and I've got a lot to do before the end of day tomorrow. So I'm gonna go. No, I'm kidding. So you can edit that out later, right?
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Okay, great. So do you know anyone that's gotten the Rona?
No, I don't. Fortunately,
I know that this made I've got a little bit of an OCD germaphobe thing going on. My mom's got it real bad, so I started getting that a few years back after we had the kids. Ugh, they're so sticky. So then when this whole coronavirus thing started, I found myself like washing my hands a whole lot more, and then it even got to the point where like I did research on how surgeons wash their hands before going into the OR, because I wanted to know the way they did it.
Oh, really?
So why does this keep going out of focus? That's so frustrating.
Oh, that's weird.
So yeah, I actually
here, let me fix that for you.
Yeah, thank you. So I think it was you want to do everything 7 times, right? So you do this one, and then they say to do the backs of the hands.
Yeah.
And then they say to do this
fingers in between.
So the front to the back, and then this, and then you want to do this, and then they want you to do this, where you're basically you're getting like the tips of the fingers, so to speak, as you do this, and then they want you to scratch your palm to get the under the nails, and then they want you to do this around the wrists, and then they want you to do this to get, and after you do that, they actually showed it where someone was wearing like those yellow dish gloves type of gloves,
right?
And then they had like red paint, we'll call it, and then you like get to see, like, as they're doing this, like, oh yeah, they, even though they did this and like it looks like they did a good job, that didn't get everything. So like you see, like as they do each of these things, that it gets just a little bit extra. Oh, and then there was this one too. So yeah, it was just, you just get a little bit extra. Like you the goal is to make sure you don't miss any spots.
I guess.
And then, because when, if you don't do this one, for example, then there's some spots here on the tips of the fingers that get missed. And then there were spots that didn't have the red paint. But once that person was all done, the gloves had a consistent coating of paint on them. And it actually looked really, really good. Like, if it wasn't paint and it was soap, I'd feel like they were very clean. And then I also learned that with the coronavirus, as you wash your hands, like the most important thing is, like, it's not even worried about the antibacterial so much. So you're fine with just regular soap if it's not antibacterial. It needs the suds. The suds is what like kills the virus. So when you do this and you get the hands to suds up, to foam up, that is what is going to actively deactivate. That's what's gonna kill the virus, is the suds, drown it or whatever. Like, I don't know how any of this stuff works, because I also understand that I think I heard that the virus is like a modification to DNA. It's like genetically modified DNA, and then once it gets in you, it starts modifying more DNA.
Oh wow!
And then
I didn't know that.
I'm not an expert. I'm doing this based off of memory. So I could be completely batshit crazy, guys. Please go do your own research before you start telling people that you're gonna. Steve said I'm gonna be a mutant. Yeah, 2 weeks from now, the internet is going to be like, Steve Taylor, WHO expert, says that the human race will all be mutants within 30 years thanks to the coronavirus. It's not at all what I said, guys. I just said it.
I'll post that for you.
Thank you. Right after we edit this. Right after you edit this. So, have you been keeping up on the COVID-19 news? Is it one of those things that's like it's too depressing? You don't want to.
What I do is let my wife watch all of it, and then she gives me the condensed version.
That's fair.
Because I just get too depressed listening to the news and the politics and all that stuff, and everybody's, it's hard to decipher what's going on,
Yeah, absolutely.
With so many sources, I mean, which one's right?
Well, as of 2 hours ago, in the U.S., there were 14,829 reported deaths, and we're at 432,554 confirmed cases. And still more than a quarter of that is coming out of New York.
Wow.
I mean, for a while, it was like more than half, because New York City was kind of the epicenter of this whole thing. But now it seems as though It's spreading, like, Jersey's got 47,000, 20,000 in Michigan, 19,000 in California. Like Ohio, I think Governor DeWine's doing a fantastic job. I know I keep saying this, guys. You're getting over that, right? But like, we're not even in the top 10. We're down. We're like kind of halfway down the list with 5,000 confirmed cases. We've got under 200 deaths, whereas New York State has 6,200 deaths. So I really am impressed by what DeWine's doing. But worldwide, we're at 1.5 million cases with almost 90,000 deaths.
Wow.
And I mean, it's scary.
It is.
I mean, we've got the most confirmed cases in the U.S. by hundreds of thousands. We don't have the most deaths. Italy's still winning that gold medal. Maybe that's what the Olympics should be this year. Instead of moving it to 2021, we should give gold medals to all the countries that have, like, who had the most deaths and who had the most confirmed cases. And what do you think?
That's a good idea. Is there still states there where it's not mandated that you stay at home?
Last I heard, there were still like 15 states.
Oh, wow.
What states do not have a stay-at-home order?
I know Florida just like finally told their partiers to go home.
So CBS News updated 3 days ago. 7 states as of 3 days ago did not. So I see in the list it includes like a whole bunch of like I feel like these are all the West. Wyoming, Utah, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, and then there's Arkansas. We don't need to talk about Arkansas. We'll just skip right over that. But Arkansas is not California.
Right.
So, kind of I would be just disappointed in Arkansas if they reelected that mayor. A usually busy Main Street in Livingston, Montana. There's a sign. I don't know, it could be a bar for all I know, and the sign says, "We will be closed for a while." Like, they don't know when they're opening back up. Nobody does, man. And I think that's the thing that has a lot of people concerned,
Right. There's like no hard date.
Yeah, like, when can I finally go back to a restaurant with my friends? And I'm not saying I want to rush this, because we've also got to figure out, like we were saying earlier, we got to figure out how do we get it so we're no longer doing a stay-at-home order? What? Maybe what they do is they say, okay, next week we're going to let all of the hair salons open back up for business. And the week after that, we'll let all of this type of, like, and maybe that's what they'll do. You know what I mean? But as of right, like, maybe they'll go through the list of essential, and maybe they'll start adding more industries to essential, and say that you guys are now essential enough that you can operate. It's been 7 weeks. People need haircuts.
Haircut, exactly.
Yeah.
Haircuts.
Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of bald guys with big beards. I don't know if you heard that's the trend people are trying to get going right now. My buddy Jonathan, every couple weeks, he'll completely shave it, and then like 2 weeks ago, he shows up with a mustache. He's got everything else gone. Just picture me with just a mustache, like that would look. He looked like a guy that would drive around a white van with free candy drawn on the side, man.
Oh no! No!
Yeah, it was bad. And then this week I see now he's changed it up again. He grew it back out. He had the beard, and then he got rid of the mustache, and he got rid of some of the stuff under the chin. So now he's got like these Wolverine mutton chops going. And like, so it's like, well, I mean, nobody but my wife has to see me. So what do I care what I look like? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you should ask your wife. She didn't want him to leave the house. That's how embarrassed she was of how he looks. Like,
this is your buddy?
Yes. So, I mean, it's because nobody can go to work.
Yeah.
Like we can't go to work. We can't go hang out. We can't do anything. So we just we do what we can to amuse ourselves, I guess. So yeah, let's see. As of Tuesday, 42 states, Guam, Washington, D.C., and Puerto Rico had issued stay-at-home orders. And I've got a friend who is Puerto Rican, and he said that Puerto Rico actually made theirs like one little baby step short of martial law, to where unless it is like one person in a car driving to a store or a hospital, you're getting arrested.
Wow.
Like, you're not even allowed to go walk your dog down the sidewalk. Like, you just walk them around your yard.
That's crazy.
But I mean, and again, I get it. I get we want to flatten the curve.
Yeah.
But at some point, we're going to have to stop doing this stuff, and the curve's going to spike back up unless they figure out a way to slowly get us. But if we do it slowly, it's going to be a year before we go watch a movie in a theater again. I mean, you're
probably about right, because
they might as well just release it on like Apple TV and Amazon Prime and just let us rent it from there for $20.
Yeah.
Because I'd still rather pay $20 to rent a movie on a streaming service, watch it in my own living room with my own sound bar, and pop my own affordable popcorn and eat my own affordable candy.
Yeah.
I would much rather do that. I would pay $5 a person in my family to sit and, how many people do you have? Oh, there's 4 of us. Yeah. $20. That's fine. I'd do that.
It's cheaper than the theater. Yeah.
Oh, substantially. Like, but when the theaters go back into business, it's going to be like $57 for a small popcorn, because they're going to have to make up all the money.
$57. That's about right.
So I just don't. I don't know how this is going to go, and I mean, I worry, man.
Yeah.
I worry.
Well, I think you're not the only one.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the MSPs that are, 15 employees.
See, and as weird as this sounds, I don't feel bad for them yet, because there's that whole payroll protection program, and all the stuff that the SBA is working on. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there that makes me not worry for them yet, because I know they're going to get like 2.5 months of, like, here, we're just going to take care of your payroll, and it's even, as long as you fill out all the paperwork and do it right, it's even going to get forgiven. Like, they're just going to take care of your payroll for 2.5 months. That way people can still get their paychecks, and they can still go spend money out at the stores and whatever else. The thing that's going to suck is there's a lot of people right now that, like, I'm one of them, where I'm like, I'm bored and I need to get out of the house. So I'll go do some grocery shopping. Like, because normally if I was bored and I wanted to get out of the house, like I'd take the family, let's go to Walmart and People Watch, or let's go to the mall, let's go to the Apple store, and I'd spend money somewhere, right?
Right.
Let's go out, let's go get some sushi for dinner. We don't have that opportunity. So it's literally, I go to the grocery store and I'm like, I'm itching to get out of the house and spend some money, so I'll go to the grocery store.
Yeah, it's true.
And I mean, at that point, like, what good does that do me? All I did was buy more junk food. I'm going to gain 100 more pounds after this stay-at-home order.
Yeah, I think all of us are. Bald, beards, and fat.
Yeah, well, I'm 2/3 of the way there. All right, Ramey, what else you want to talk about, man? You want to wrap up? You want to keep going? What do you want to do?
Let's go for a couple more minutes. Let me think of something here.
Okay.
Tell me what it's like to play the bass with the left hand.
I'm sure it's a lot like playing a bass with a right hand. It's just more expensive.
I thought you were going to say weird.
No, it's the problem is, like, if I walk into a Guitar Center, or if I went to Indiana and I decided to go to Sweetwater, it doesn't matter what place I go, what music store I go, they've got their wall filled with bass guitars, and they've got the wall filled with electric guitars, and then they've got that nice humidity controlled room with all the acoustic guitars.
Right.
Do you know how many of those guitars I can pick up and play? Maybe one of each.
One of each.
One, and I don't mean one of each brand or one of each. No, I'm saying there might be one left-handed bass there that I can play.
Oh, I see.
There might be one left-handed electric, one left-handed acoustic. So there's not options for me when I go out to these like guitar stores. With drums, even though I play drums left-handed, so I reverse the whole kit. Like a drum's a drum, but with a guitar, it's literally like there's I don't have the right guitar here. There's some of the guitars have that cutaway, So if I were to say, oh, I'll just buy this right-hand guitar and string it left, like that's what Kurt Cobain of Nirvana did. He was buying right-handed guitars and stringing them left.
Oh, really?
And what that did was that put the cutaway on the bottom. So, on the top. So normally where you're able to go up the neck and do your sweet solo, it made it harder for him to get to those higher frets.
Right.
Because the cutaway's on the wrong place. And I'm like sitting here, I'm trying to think of which direction the cutaway goes. And I can't even think, like, I never think of that. So no matter what, it feels backwards to me. Yeah, the cutaway is supposed to be on the bottom, I swear. And then, so if I were to reverse a guitar, the cutaway would be on the top. Now, it's okay if you buy one of those guitars where it's got the same cutaway on both sides. But, I mean, you still got to spend a bunch of money. It's not just taking the strings off and putting them on backwards. There's the nut and the bridge. And even the pickups are all, like, designed for it to have the fat string on this side and the skinny string on this side. And if you swatch them, if you swap them or switch them, then it's just, you gotta do everything. You gotta redo it all. And at that point, like, you might as well just custom build a guitar if you got to take the whole dang thing apart.
Right.
So I found a place, it's called Rondo Music. I think it's rondomusic.net. And I typically buy my guitars from them. They've got guitars that, like, you've never heard of the brands. My last bass I bought, it was a 5-string bass. It was like $120.
Nice.
I mean, to get the same quality bass with all the same knobs and all the same pickups and all that, I mean, the same quality bass would be like $700 if I were to buy a name brand. But because it's a brand nobody's ever heard of, I got it for $120. It was, manufactured in China on an assembly line. I don't know if a person ever touched the thing. You know what I mean? Like, there was nothing. There's nothing truly epic about this bass. It just, I mean, it's made with decent components. Good wood. The intonation, the action, everything was like great out of the box. So I didn't even have to do a setup. I pulled it out of the box, tuned it because it was slightly out of tune when it arrived. Tuned it, replaced the strings, I think, with fancy strings. I like my fancy strings. And then it was ready to go, man.
Sounds awesome. So when you went to start playing guitar, what made you choose bass over regular?
There were fewer strings. So true story. I was like, well, this has fewer strings and I don't have to play one of them at a time. So I could do this. But I mean, now I play bass guitar, acoustic, electric guitar. I play drums. I sing. The next thing I want to learn how to play an upright bass. That's kind of on my to-do list. I would love to learn how to play the piano, but I can't. I don't have the patience. I don't actually understand music theory at all. Like if you said to me, "Hey Steve, what notes are in the key of B sharp?" Hell if I know.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if there is a B sharp, because I know there's two notes that don't have black keys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even know B. It could be going from B to C. I might be one of them, and then I know E to F is the other one. I feel like B to C is the other. That feels right. Let's go with that. B to C. So there's no such thing as a B sharp. Well, I mean there is, and that's the other thing that confuses me with music theory. Like there is a B sharp, but only in certain cases. Like you're not allowed to call it a C. You have to call it a B sharp. And then like, depending on what key and what scale you're in, like you might be in a major scale or a pentatonic scale or whatever, like and like I don't understand. I just I just look at the thing that tells me what notes to play. I
But you can read music.
No, I don't. No? I don't look at like sheet music. I look at like I'll look at like chord charts.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be like, okay, this is telling me to play an A. But if you asked me like, where's an A on this
tablature?
Well, tablature is where it's got the 6 strings or the 4 strings, right, and it's telling you what fret to play. So that's actually how I started. I didn't even know what note was what. I just started with, I just play the 6th fret on the 1st string and the 3rd fret on the 1st string, and do, and there we go. But now I can at least, if I'm playing a song with some other guys and they've got the chord chart up, I can follow along with the chord chart. Like I know that if I need to play a C, then a G, then an E, then an A, I know where those are on the fretboard. But if you show me sheet music where it's got the staff and you need to know every good boy does fine, mm-hmm, or eats cake or whatever it is, or the face, like I would not know how to read that. I also I've got pretty good ear for it. So, but I don't necessarily always know what like time signature I'm in, or if something's a quarter note or a half note, or like, you know what I mean? Like I can count it out to where I can say, okay, if I count this, this one Tool song, I know I should just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, but then at that point, I don't actually know if that is 7/8, 7/4 time signature, or there's some songs from Tool where it's like a 5/4 and then a 7/4, and then it just makes more sense for you to tablature it as a 9/4. But 9/4 is not the technical time signature because it's actually a 5/4, whatever. I don't know. I'm just I don't understand it. I don't understand music theory, but somehow I have a really good ear for it.
There's a lot of people like that just have a good ear and just pick it up that way.
How about you? You play?
I play guitar in the past. I should say I've played in the past. I just haven't had time lately, but that's how I play, is it's all by ear. Mm. My son, he does the same.
So like what kind of songs would you play? Like, are you one of those guys where you're like, I know these 7 songs really well, so whenever I get a chance to pick up my guitar, I'm just going to play one of these?
Maybe 8, not 7.
but you've got like you've got your safe zone of songs, and you don't bother to look up anything new.
No, I like to look up stuff that's new.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't stick with the same ones, but
Yeah,
I've never been trained, and I don't understand music theory, and I can't read notes. So
yeah. So I've got my friend Aaron. He is a Cisco voice engineer or whatever you call him, and he has he's got a bunch of guitars. He's probably got like 13 guitars. It's ridiculous how many guitars this guy's got. He's got some really nice ones too. He's got a what do you call it, like a steel body or whatever you call it guitar he's trying to sell right now. So he and I, whenever we get together, we've got like 5 songs that we play these songs, and that's it. Our wives are so sick of hearing these same 5 songs whenever we get together. We'll play some Foo Fighters, we'll play some Radiohead, and then we'll throw a couple of other things. We might play some Chili Peppers, and then that's it. We've exhausted our collection, our extensive collection of music. We might play some Black Keys. We love Black Keys, man. But yeah, like he moved away for like 7 years or something like that. So I started getting into new stuff, and I started learning new stuff, and then he got into his new stuff, and he learned that stuff, and neither of us learned the same new stuff. So I'll be like, hey, let's play this. He'll be like, what's that? Dang it. that gets old. And right now, like, now would be the perfect time for he and I to get together and just sit around with our guitars for hours and learn new songs. But guess what we're not supposed to be doing?
That's right.
And he is like, screw that. I am not going to see anyone. He and his wife have she's 2 now. They got a little 2-year-old, and they're not letting parents see them. So the grandparents are not seeing their daughter. They're not letting siblings over. They're not seeing friends. They're screw all of you guys. We are staying home. Like, they go to the store once every 2 weeks. Well, no, they've got to go more often than that, because they're weirdos. They're vegetarian.
Oh, and, really?
I love them, but I give them such a hard time about being vegetarians.
Tell them they're communists. That'll get them going.
I do, and they say, "Shut up! No, we're not. We're socialists." They're not that either. They're very conservative people, which is extra amusing for me. They're very conservative hippies. I swear, like, I always thought of them as like more of the free spirit liberal hippie type people, and then I recently learned like just how conservative they truly are when it comes to everything, which is fine. I mean, I don't care what they are either way. Like I said in my last podcast, I don't even know what I am anymore, because I used to be a very liberal person, and as I grow up, I become more and more conservative. You know, I used to be, I don't know, whatever. We don't have to talk about that. Politics suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these days I'm more of a, I mean, if it's not infringing on me, I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not hurting anybody and you're not bothering me, you go do what you want. It might not be something I believe in, but who am I to stop you? That's how I am.
Yeah.
All right, Ramey, let's wrap it up, sir.
It's been really fun.
It has been fun. You are always an entertaining guy to hang out with, man. I can't wait to see the edits you've done to this once you upload it.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I can edit out the part where you gave me a hard time. So yeah.
Yeah, well, it'll just be a podcast of me talking about myself after you edit all the parts where I give you a hard time. Guys, check out techmarketingengine.com. Ramey Bell and Matthew Rodella are great guys. They do have a great marketing package, like an all done for you marketing package that they offer. Is it the most attractive website in the world? Maybe not, but it's probably better than what you could build by yourself after spending 30 hours figuring out how to use WordPress. So check out techmarketingengine.com. Tell them Steve from the RocketMSP podcast sent you. Check out rocketmsp.io, where you can learn more about peer groups for your MSP so you can take your MSP to the next level. And check out more episodes of this podcast. I'll see you guys at the next one. Take care, everyone.